Audrey, just go ahead and use that there Stanley Cup to get us set up. A little tripod, I like it. My wife is going to love the fact that the Stanley Cup served a educational function for our class. All right, so guys, as we keep doing our presentations in our podcast, right? Hi, other 105 classes. We are going to get going on feeder number 3, okay? Which is the proposal letter for this Unit 2 project. I'll say it one more time, guys. The whole idea for where you should go with Unit number 2 first is to decide what's the one thing that you enjoy doing or have always wanted to do, but never thought you'd be able to do, and get a 100 in an English class. I'll specify a 100 because you'll be able to revise Unit number 2 how many times? As many as you like. Therefore, whatever it is that you do, whether it's eating a donut or writing an annotated bibliography, you'll be able to revise it to a 100 as many times as you want. Also, you all are going to work with a classmate and come up, okay, with a rubric for 80 points out of the 100 for this assignment. In fact, that in-class work that you do, where you come up with the rubric together, okay, that's feeder number 4. Genevieve, as soon as Genevieve is done with feeder number 4, she's going to sign her partner's paper and say, I approve of your rubric. They're going to sign hers, and as soon as I sign them, so we got both signatures on there, Genevieve has a 100 for feeder number 4. Okay, that's because the vast majority of this project is going to be up to you. And that's because, let's say one of you decides to drink a bottle of water, whereas another one of you decides to review a movie. I can't score you the same way. I could try, but it wouldn't be fair and it wouldn't make any sense. Okay? So, unit number 2, the whole idea is, this is one where we're going to stretch your understanding of what the word composition can mean as far as possible. Okay, wherever you want it to go, and it's going to be my job to make sure that it qualifies as academic and a social sciences project. Okay, that's my job. We'll worry about that next. Today we're going to talk about how you put together your proposal letters, and maybe I'll even give some of you a chance to start writing your letters right here. Okay, so let's start with the who part, okay, of the pentad. You see, when you put this letter together, my advice to you, start by saying Dear Joe, naturally, okay? To get a 100 on this assignment, if it doesn't say Dear Joe, I'm going to make you put Dear Joe at the top of the paper when you revise, okay? You can do paragraphs as you see fit. As it happens, the pentad has 5 parts, so if you want this one to be a 5-paragraph letter, go ahead. It has to be written like a letter, right? So it's going to be conversational. It's not going to sound hyper-academic. I don't want you to start with, many things have been said in the field of psychology over the years. That's a 5-paragraph essay opening sentence, right? Not the kind of thing we want here, right? But you're going to write these paragraphs and you're going to talk about the different parts of what you're going to do, okay? And you're going to go into, here's the key, okay? A 100 comes when you have gone into, once I get a better marker, detail for all of these different parts. If I have a really, really, really good picture of exactly what you're going to do for this assignment, that means you get a 100. If not, then you'll need to revise and you'll have a 75. Let's say you turn in something that is in no way, shape, or form a proposal letter for what you're going to do for unit number 2, then it's a 0, but you can still revise it to a 100. But let's start with who you are, okay? Remember, we started the semester asking what gets the singer in Harvey Danger and Flagpole Sitter out of bed in the morning, all right? Who has an idea of what they're going to do for unit number 2? Anybody? Have you all just been sitting around twiddling your thumbs, not thinking about my class, worrying about the rest of your lives? Come on, guys. My class is the absolute epicenter of your existences. I know it. Seriously, nobody has any ideas what they're going to do based upon the criteria that I just gave you. If nobody has any ideas, we need to talk about it right now. All right? What's something that you enjoy doing or have always wanted to do but never thought you'd be able to get a 100 for doing it? Should I just make this an annotated bibliography? Evil laugh. Seriously, guys, nothing? Nobody has any ideas.
Can you give some examples of
Sure.
past?
I mean, Genevieve, I've stayed away from doing this because I didn't want to put you on the spot with this, but you've been ballet person, right? A lot of the semester. Hypothetically, right? I'm not saying do this. If this is not you, don't do it, okay? If this is not what you want to do, don't do it. But you could do ballet for unit number 2. what we need to do is figure out, and Genevieve and I will probably talk about it a little bit, blah, 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 but how are we gonna make it academic and social sciencey? I've got some pretty good ideas, okay? You want me to go into it?
Sure. if
Okay, I mean, we could start with who you are and what gets you out of bed and why you care about making this particular text. But, I mean, look, I have a friend who couldn't do ballet anymore for a reason. Genevieve, you want to guess what the reason was?
Like an injury?
Unfortunately, it's a little bit less savory than that.
I don't know.
What's the reason why some people are told they can't do ballet anymore?
Oh, like
They're not
body
good.
type?
Body type. It's a very real thing in ballet. Once you hit a certain, I don't know, if it's body mass index or whatever, this is where it could be interesting, okay? They can tell you, sorry, but, oh my God! So we're gonna have motion sickness, like Audrey just caused motion sickness throughout multiple class. But seriously, okay, one thing, right, that Genevieve could do for this project would be to do a ballet performance. Another thing might be to talk about the fact that this is an issue that exists in ballet, right? More than, I mean, Genevieve, tell me if I'm being unfair here, but it is a style of dance where this issue comes up more often
Yeah.
than any other.
Yeah.
There's a movie, in fact. Okay, one of my 105 classes, by the way, doesn't get to do pop culture.